Brazil has experienced its 8th heatwave of the year so far, with the National Meteorological Institute putting large swathes of the country under red alert as temperatures soar to dangerously high levels.
브라질에 올해 들어 8번째 폭염이 엄습해 기온이 위험한 수준까지 치솟자 브라질 국립기상연구소가 전국 대부분 지역에 적색경보를 발령했습니다. Okay, so we've been hearing a lot of stories coming out of Brazil about the weather and how it's extremely dangerously high.
Yeah, this year has been astonishing. Records for highest temperatures were set in July, in August, September, and October. This week, they were saying that temperatures were expected to rewrite climate history. So we're talking about a real danger here. One of the reasons for it that experts are saying is the strong El Nino that we've seen coming this year, but also with the climate crisis increasing that intensity and the frequency of these kind of events, these heat waves becoming more and more likely. So we saw, temperatures above 40 degrees across the center, west, and southeast. In Corombo, on the border of Bolivia, on Wednesday, there was a peak of 43.3 degrees. Also, temperatures were hitting 37.7 in Sao Paulo, 42.6 in Rio de Janeiro. They were breaking records for the year. In Rio, their nickname is Hell de Janeiro because, the real feel there on Saturday was 59.7, the real feel. So not the actual temperature, but what it felt like.
In fact, yesterday, I think we had a Taylor Swift story.
Oh, it's such a sad story about that fan who died because of the heat, basically.
Yeah. So one of her concerts in Rio de Janeiro was cancelled exactly because of the weather. And one of the fans there ended up passing out because of dehydration.
Yeah, and while many people may think of, Brazil and beaches and nice weather and getting in the pool, the reality is you've got buses that don't have air conditioning that works, schools that don't have air conditioning or even fans, because just like Argentina, which we talked about just before, there are serious problems in terms of social inequality. So we'll have to wait and see what happens, but certainly it's a dangerous situation for many residents of Brazil.
네. 브라질에서 38도, 또 어떤 지역은 43도까지 오르기도 했는데요. 실제로 이제 체감 온도는 영어로는 the real feel, 이게 뭐 거의 60도에 육박했다. 네, 이런 얘기를 지금 해주셨습니다. 자, 첫 번째 표현 볼 텐데요. I believe there are two different ways to pronounce this word.
You want to fight over it, Sue?
How do you say it?
I say swathe, and I know that you say swath.
Yeah, I think that's the more American way. But both are okay?
And there's also two different spellings. S-W-A-T-H-E, which is why I think it's pronounced swathe for me, and then S-W-A-T-H, which for me makes sense to be pronounced swath. In any case, they mean the same thing, and they just mean a large area of something. So we use it often when talking about geography, about weather movements, or about something that's affecting a large part of a district or a country, because it means a large area.
네. 길거나 넓은 어떤 면적을 말합니다. 여기서는 이제 그렇게 많은 지역이 이렇게 폭염으로 시달리고 있다는 뜻이 되겠고요. It's dangerously high.
Yeah, meaning it puts people in danger. It could hurt them, it could hospitalize them, it could kill them. So when we use the term dangerously high levels in the news, we're probably talking about two things, usually. One will be temperatures or dangerously low temperatures. The other will be pollution. Dangerously high levels of pollution. And we've had news stories we've covered on the show before, where there have been some cities, for example, where if you look at the air pollution index, it's been up to 300 or 400. It's been dangerously high.
Yeah, exactly. Dangerously is an adverb. So after this, you can add an adjective. 부사예요. 그래서 위험할 정도로 뭐뭐뭐하다. Dangerously high, dangerously low, dangerously big, small, whatever.
Dangerously talented.
Dangerously talented. 위험할 정도로 재능이 많아.
Well, you can actually use it.
You can say that.
It's a bit silly to say that, but you might have a press release where they talk about the dangerously talented pop star sings a new album.
그렇게 말할 수도 있겠죠. 네. 자, 아까 그 swathe 또는 swath 예문도 주시겠어요?
Come January, it's likely that swathes of Korea will be covered in snow. And swaths of Korea will be covered in snow too.
Come January, 1월이 되면 아마 한국의 많은 지역이 눈에 덮여 있을 겁니다.
And can we just take a moment to recognize we've already had our first snow this winter?
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it.
Well, there you go. Here's the headline one more time. Brazil has experienced its 8th heat wave of the year so far, with the National Meteorological Institute putting large swaths or swathes of the country under red alert as temperatures soar to dangerously high levels.